Hey guys, Mr. Backenberg here. In this video, we're going to look at finding the values of some different trig functions. So what's going to happen in these examples is I'm going to give you a little bit of trig information, and we're going to try to use that to help us find all of our missing trig values. So for example, if I told you that we were dealing with some angle in the second quadrant. Now we use Greek letters to represent our angles, so I'm going to use the Greek letter theta, and I'm going to say our angle theta is in the second quadrant. And the other piece of information that I'm going to give you is I'm going to tell you that the sine of theta is 2/3. And I want to use these two pieces of information to help me find my other 5 trig values. So as of right now, we are missing the cosine of theta, we're missing the tangent of theta, and then we're missing our 3 reciprocal trig functions. So the cosecant of theta, the secant of theta, and the cotangent of theta. Now the first thing I'm going to look at doing is drawing this angle out. So we've got an angle in standard position, meaning that it's starting along the positive x-axis, and we know that it's rotating into the second quadrant. Now we don't know for sure where it's going, but it's going out here somewhere into the second quadrant. And what we're trying to do is kind of find information about this ordered pair so that we can use it to help us find these missing trig values. Now, we know what our sine is. We know our sine is 2/3. And remember, our sine value, the sine of theta, is y over r. So we know that our y value is 2, and we know that our r value is 3. So I'm going to start to build this ordered pair in here. Based on knowing the sine, we just said that we knew the y value was 2, and we know that our r value is 3. So for our ordered pair, we're missing this x value. But remember, we've got that relationship with our x, our y, and our r. So we can go x squared plus y squared equals r squared. We know that our y value is 2, so I'm going to go x squared plus 2 squared equals, and we know our r value is 3, so 3 squared. Now 2 squared is 4, and 3 squared is 9. So this is going to say x squared plus 4 equals 9. I'm going to subtract that 4 over to the right-hand side. So we've got x squared equals 5. Now to get x alone, we're going to square root both sides. So the squared and the square root will cancel each other out. So on the left-hand side, we just get x equals. On the right-hand side, we have to be a little bit careful. Anytime we square root something, there's a positive answer and a negative answer. So our x value is either positive square root of 5 or negative square root of 5. Now, based on knowing that our angle theta lands us in the second quadrant, if we think about the ordered pairs, because we're going left into the second quadrant, our x value needs to be negative and our y value needs to be positive. So out of these two possible x values, either positive root 5 or negative root 5, because that x value needs to be negative, then this x value should be the negative root 5. So now I've got everything I need in order to find these missing trig values. So remember, cosine is x over r, so we're going to have negative root 5 over that r value of 3. Tangent is y over x, so we're going to have 2 over negative square root of 5. Now we could rationalize that if we wanted to. We would get 2 root 5 over negative 5. For our cosecant, remember cosecant is the reciprocal of the sine, so I'm going to flip that over and get 3/2. For the secant, that's the reciprocal of the cosine, so if we flip that over, we're going to get 3 over negative root 5, but we could rationalize that to be 3 root 5 over negative 5. And then the cotangent is the reciprocal of the tangent, so that's going to be negative root 5 over 2. So there's our 5 missing trig values that we did not initially know. We're going to do one more example like that. Let's say that our angle theta is in the third quadrant. And let's say that the cosine of theta is negative 3/5. Now, if I draw this angle out in standard position, we're starting along that positive x-axis and then rotating around counterclockwise, landing somewhere in the third quadrant. And we're going to try to find some information about this ordered pair using what we know about the cosine so that we can find all of our missing values. Now we are missing the sine of theta. We're missing the tangent of theta. I gave you the cosine value. We're missing the cosecant of theta, the secant of theta, and the cotangent of theta. Now cosine is x over r. Cosine of theta is x over r. So I know that my x value is going to be -3, and I know that my r value is 5. But I need to know that y value to find this missing information. So I'm going to go x squared plus y squared equals r squared. My x value is -3, so I'm going to go -3 squared plus y squared equals 5 squared. Now -3 squared is 9, so we have 9 plus y squared equals 5 squared is 25. If I subtract that 9 over, then we get y squared equals 16. Square root both sides. Now 16 square roots nicely, but don't forget to put your plus and your minus on there. So we get y equals plus or minus 4. Because we are in the third quadrant, ordered pairs in the third quadrant have a negative x value and a negative y value. So we want the -4 as our y value. So then if I find the sine of theta, sine is y divided by r. So we're going to get -4 over 5. Tangent is y over x. So we're going to have -4 over -3. But because those are both negatives, that's going to turn into positive 4/3. For the cosecant, that's the reciprocal of the sine. So I'm going to get 5 over -4. Secant is the reciprocal of the cosine. So I'm going to get 5 over -3. And then cotangent is the reciprocal of the tangent, so we're going to get positive 3/4. So there's all of our missing trig values this time. That's going to be it for this video. Thanks for watching.